What is up, everybody? I was just hanging out today and I was thinking of how much I like this guitar, and then I thought, man, it really is kind of a secret weapon guitar to me, and I thought, you know what, maybe I'll talk about this guitar and see if you guys would find it interesting, and kind of how I use this guitar too as what I would consider a secret weapon. Now, a secret weapon, I don't say that from the standpoint of, wow, I can really shred on this guitar, it's my secret weapon, because I can't shred on anything. I grate on people's nerves mainly, but that's, you know. This guitar is a secret weapon for me because it just sounds so different and feels so different than any other guitar I own. It's a Duesenberg Gran Majesto, and I'm not going to go like into the specs much on this because this isn't a demo. The pickups on it, I'm not sure. Sometimes they sound like P90s, sometimes they sound like gold foils, sometimes they sound like straight humbuckers, and because this guitar is a longer scale guitar, it does have a lot more tension on the strings, but I can still play it and bend notes, but it makes a set of 10s feel more like a set of 11s with maybe heavy bottoms. But it just has all these really great tones, especially for what I was just doing. And speaking of that, I turned on a bunch of stuff. I'll shut it back off. I'm using my my REVV D20 direct in on the 4x12 cab setting, set clean, but I'll go back to the beginning. And once again, this is to just kind of let you into my world, especially as a session player. That's just the straight tone into the D20. It's really sweet. But what I always add is I'll add my chime, especially on a session, because it just adds kind of a harmonic, a bit of, I guess I would say, harmonic distortion. Up top, I keep it really subtle. You can do a lot with this pedal, but I have it on really subtly. Yeah, so it just adds kind of a harmonic complexity. It kind of brings out a little bit more of a higher mid characteristic. And on a session, when I need it to cut through in a mix but not be harsh, rather than redialing any amp I'm using, 9 times out of 10, I'll reach down and turn that on. Reverb and trim, that was off my Flint, my Strymon. And then I did turn on a reverse reverb just for the heck of it from my Timeline. So it's just a really cool sound. I would say for guys that are doing a lot of kind of CCM, maybe worship stuff, or really, for lack of a better term, vibey or ethereal sounding stuff, this guitar is killer. Even though I've done straight ahead rock tracks with this thing, and I've taken like Robin Ford style solos with it, and it sounds killer too. But you know, once again, it's a secret weapon because it just brings something different out. And like I said, it's longer scale. So I also thought, well, maybe you guys would want to know this tuning. Well, I'll just tell you what it is. The low string has been tuned down to C. And then the next string, the A string, has been tuned down to G. And then the next 3 strings are standard, D, G, B. And then the high string is D. So C, G, D, G, B, D. And I actually stole this tuning. I nicked it from a guy named John Leventhal, who's just an incredible guitar player. Guys like him and like Buddy Miller and Daniel Lanois, they just haunt me in my sleep because they're so musical and they just get these amazing sounds. I stole this tuning from a song I heard on a Shawn record. It's A Few Small Repairs is the name of the record. And I think the song's called I Want It Back. But I just heard this thing. And I just thought that sounded so beautiful, but I was like, is that a baritone guitar? Is it tuned weird? Is it like a way detuned dadgad thing? And when I finally figured it out, I was just like, that tuning is genius. And the reason it is because really these 3 strings are still standard. So you can kind of find your way around the neck. And if you look at the 4th string tuning, That's basically like your, you know, Keith Richards. You know, so that works. That's easy to navigate. So what I started doing is just looking at the tuning really simply, and maybe you can see better on this camera. What I did is I thought, okay, I can kind of navigate around that, but what about those three strings? And that's when I just, you know, and you would have to do the same thing. I knew, okay, that's C. So what would D be? What would E minor be? And that's kind of how I learned to navigate new tunings. Is I think, well, what's the one chord? In this tuning, I would consider like the one chord where I would start would be in G. But if I knew the four chord was C, and I found that, then what would be the five chord? You just have to bar across. And then, once again, what would be the minor six chord? So I know that's E minor. And then, yeah, you just keep goofing around until you find tunings. And then you get a lot of accidental stuff that just sounds really cool in the process, especially as you're... you know, just trying riffs that you normally would do, all of a sudden you're playing something different, which is once again a secret weapon. Now what I do like about this tuning is, like I said, I can navigate if I do want to just riff. Because I know these three strings are still standard. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that because, like I said, that is a secret weapon for me. And the way I use these effects, those are kind of secret weapons to just let you into the world I'm in when I am working and just doing sessions or composing. Guitars like this are really special. And it doesn't have to be a guitar like this, but, you know, find that one kind of secret weapon guitar that inspires you to play differently, not play faster, not be a shredder, but something that just will drag something out of you and inspire you to try different tunings, try different tonalities. It's just a really cool way to, especially if you're in a rut, kind of expand without a ton of just mental effort exerted, you know? I just thought you guys would think it was cool. So thanks as always for tuning in, and we will see you next time. And I don't know why I'm saying we, because I'm the only guy here. The cat's not behind me, nobody else is here, but for some reason I say, we will see you next time. Like I've got some sort of massive crew that does all this for me, and I don't. So I will see you guys and gals next time.